States. This is QuadRadio, USA.
Cool. Oh, yeah.
Now, with all the dirt in the world of ATV motocross and MCC racing, here's 10 seconds. Rob Goblin.
Right. Hello and welcome to another exciting edition. It's part 2 here from Redbud, Buchanan, Michigan, and we're continuing our talk with some ATV motocross racers here this weekend, and welcoming back a couple of notables from, wow, it's been almost a decade for you guys, hasn't it? What year? Let's see, 8 years I think it was you said for you. How long has it been for you?
7 years for me.
Wow, so I mean, that's a long time, guys, and all of a sudden you just show up out of the blue. We're going to talk a little bit about that with Nick DeNovo over there, someplace right there. Try to find it. And then the way this thing is, I'm always back with Derek Swartfager way over there. We are not bandits. We are not wanted. Well, maybe we are. Dead or alive.
We're always lying.
That's true. So we'll talk a little bit more about that coming up. But I do want to take this time again to say thanks to our good friends at E-Racing, bringing you the E-Racing QuadRadio show. Also Phoenix Racing and the Phoenix Racing Honda team. Thanks to David Eller and all those guys over there. I also want to say thanks to Todd Ely at Teely Energy Racing. TP Brakes, what's stopping you? And JSR Motor Design, special thanks to those folks going out. And also Amsoil, the first in synthetics, your independent dealer, John Coffey. You'll give him a call, and he'll send it right to your house. And also, again, welcoming back the friends at Decker Training Facilities at Decker's Place. I want to say thanks to those guys as they've really stepped up and helped out a lot here in the 2020 season as well. And also, that guy right there, he helped out a lot and has helped out in the past. So thank you, Derek, for coming to the rescue with QuadRadio there and support whenever we needed it. And hint. Just kidding.
I'm all on my own now. So.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not expecting anything, and I'm not. That's not what it's all about, man. I'm just, the beauty of it is with all these great sponsors and everything, and I look back, I've been doing this since 2012. It is now paying for itself. I can say that. QuadRadio is paying for itself. It's not coming out of my pocket. Thank goodness.
Right.
And that.
Everyone keep following him. This guy works his butt off.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And yeah, I do. And we only want to help spread the word of ATV motocross, talk about the future, talk about the past, because it all matters, man. I mean, if there wasn't a history in this sport, there wouldn't be anything to really build upon. And guys like this right here are big pavers in the road, I guess. Big brick pavers. It's a road. It's a brick road, and your guys are bricks in it, man. The way I look at it. It's kind of hard, and this is going to be fun because I'm just turn you guys loose because you guys are pretty good friends, right? I mean, it's not like you guys just happen to show up at the races. Oh, and there's Derek Swartfager, and hey, there's Nick DeNovo. They just happen to show up on the same weekend. This came as a plan, right?
Yeah.
Somebody tell me how that happened.
So, I bought one of my 2012 quads back.
Yeah, that was. Yeah, let's talk a little bit about that. Now, tell me. So you did. So this is the day he finds this. We'll pick up the story from this point. So let's go to that day.
So just one day, you got that Facebook market, and I was scrolling through there, and I happened to see this quad that had my graphics on it, and I went and clicked on it, and what do you know? It was my 2012 Lone Star quad. Same kid I sold it to, and went back and picked it up. I texted him, went and got it about 3 days later, me and my daughters, and here we are.
Now, big question is, did you pay more, less, or the same amount?
No, I paid less.
Oh, yeah, you profit.
And I got all the parts I gave him, so.
Yeah, and it was in good shape.
Yeah, perfect shape. So the kid who I bought her from, he put about 7 hours on it. He crashed here hard in 2015, I believe. And that was the last time he rode it. And I'm not gonna say the price I got it for, but I made out on it. So.
Good. Well, I'm glad, and he's all right. Just
Yeah.
didn't want to race anymore.
Yeah, he just hung it up, and I seen it on that Facebook market, and it's pretty much a sign from the gods, because, I mean, racing's in your blood. It's always going to be in your blood, you know. I've been doing it, you know, from 2003 was my first year, but doing nationals in 06 till 2013, and, you know, it's just, once it's in your blood, it's always in your blood, you know, and luckily enough, my wife gave me the okay to go get it, because, I mean, it was a sign from above saying you need to get it and come back, so here we are. I got it. I was going to go to Walnut and race, but we were pretty swamped at work, so my dad wouldn't let me take off. Here we are. I texted.
Wait a minute, time out. How old are you?
31.
31 years old, and your dad would. Oh, wait. just to clarify that, because it's not like your company is owned by your dad, right?
Yep.
Yeah,
So
okay.
my dad owns a Sterling Water Company. My brother runs the crew. I run a crew, and that was.
I just thought you had a really strict dad, man. I was there for a second.
No, he didn't give me no spankings or nothing.
So anyway, you asked your dad. He wouldn't let you go there, so you got.
Yeah, so I was gonna go to Walnut and race, but work. So too busy. He let me come here, and I texted Derek probably 3 weeks or a month ago, see if you want to come wrench on the quad for me, because I was gonna run pro, just for shits and giggles. Excuse my language, but that's how I talk. And
You speak French, I see.
and so I was gonna do that and have him be my mechanic, and never got nothing back. And then him and his wife Tori and my wife were texting back and forth, and they were coming here, and he brought some gear with, and well, we're both just gonna race.
Yeah, and there's a good story on the gear getting too. I want to get to here in just a few minutes. So, so your end of it. Tell me about it from your perspective of it. How was it for you?
I guess it was just a spur of the moment deal, and I talked to Jody Bartosik, and he made arrangements with Thomas Brown, and done deal.
There you go. He says, "Hey, let Derek ride that bike." Yeah. So you're riding a stock Thomas Brown bike, then?
Yeah. Running the 84 this weekend, so.
Not the 26,
Yeah.
but hey, that's all right, man.
Yeah.
You're back, and that's the important thing.
Oh,
You're not,
time.
yeah, not just wrenching. You bring your kids out too.
Yeah.
What? Yep.
My kids are here, my wife's here.
You got 4 now?
4, yeah.
Yeah. So you got
6-year-old, a 5-year-old, a 6-year-old, a 4-year-old, a 3-year-old, and a 6-month-old.
dang boy, you've been busy.
Just pumping them all.
Well, you're on the talk, dude. You got 3 of your own, right?
Yeah, I got 3-year-olds, yep.
That's
But
it.
my buddy here got a boy at least, so.
There you go.
That's
So you're gonna try for another one?
No, I got taken care of back in 5 years ago, so 2015. So just
You're-
practicing.
You're a braver man than I am, so I'm going to tell you right now. I couldn't do that, man. So, just by the way, going back on your French speaking there, my aunt used to use that word in the kitchen only, and around my family, that word was known as the kitchen word.
So only kitchen words here.
Yeah, we're in the kitchen, man. We're cooking something up here. But yeah, my aunt would be in doing dishes, and she'd like do something. You hear shit.
Cut my finger.
Yeah, everybody be like, "Did she just say what I think she said?" No, that's not what she said. That's the kitchen word she's using. But nonetheless, so you're working sewer and water, putting in sewer and water lines. So you're working with heavy equipment and stuff like that, I assume.
Yep, I'm in dozers, loaders, excavators. We do all your water main piping, your poop lines, and all your parking lot drainage.
Wow,
Well,
dude, I respect and admire that. And without guys like you doing that kind of stuff, man, you know, can you imagine the backup that we would have? Literally.
These hands aren't, only sanitizing can do so much. There's a lot of years of poop on these hands.
Well, kitchen word there, right? Now, Derek, you are a farmer, one of the I guess one of the first American jobs that there was out there, man. I mean, that you did to survive. Jobs. Period. I mean, agriculture has been around since the dawn of man, and you, my friend, have perfected it. I think what you say. Did you say 12,000 or 20,000 acres that you're farming right
There's 1,200 acres of corn, 400 acres of beans, 200 acres of wheat, and around 100 of oats.
Wow.
So kind of a spectrum of everything.
Oh, the bales of hay is what we were talking about.
Yeah, hey, 20,000, yeah.
Yeah, 20,000 bales of hay. So not only did you plow, disc, and plant this spring, since that's all been done, you've been baling hay.
Yeah, hay and wheat straw and stuff, yeah.
That's pretty cool, man. So thank you for doing that.
Yeah, everyone has their own opinion on farming. It ain't easy.
These guys are the foremen and the people who created America.
Yeah, it's not easy.
You know?
If it weren't for guys like this right here, and I grew up, I was born in the late 60s and 69, so through the 70s, I remember, there were mom and pop operations all across this country, and, everybody had farms. There was a dairy farm here, a farm that did corn and soybeans and hay, blah, blah, blah. It was just all, and all these family farms, and they were all little guys, and then in the 70s, the economy just went, and then all the farmers, literally, I remember farmers getting paid not to do anything, let their land just sit there. And if it weren't for families like yours that were able to weather the storm and acquire and amass more and more land and more property, more equipment to do the things you do, I mean, you guys are producing a lot of stuff.
I mean, it's not an overwhelming amount of acres, but for where I live and stuff.
Right.
It's
not. I mean, obviously, you're not out Midwest.
Like this, no.
Yeah. I mean, you don't have a million acres that are wide open. You've got. I mean, where you're at, it's tough.
And hills and valleys.
And that's real fun. I mean, not that these guys. I mean, but that's. I mean, you have a challenging farm.
It's not easy.
I mean,
don't get
you got to deal with erosion a lot more. You got to deal with flooding, I think, a lot more. So I mean, there's a lot that.
A lot more strip farming. Like out here, this is all big and open fields, and at home it's all laid out strips and contours, so you don't have erosion.
Right.
It's a battle.
Yeah,
it is.
Yeah, and if you wonder what strip farming means, and I was in vocational agriculture. I was the president of my FFA. Strip farming is where you do like a row of corn, and then you do a row of grassy, and then you do a row of something that beans or something. Then you do another row of grass, and what you do is you harvest all the crops in between, and you bale all the hay in between all that, and it stops all the erosion and stuff like that.
Yep, absolutely.
So there's your lesson tonight.
This guy is not just a QuadRadio.
Yeah, he
guy,
knows a
he
lot
knows
more
agriculture.
See,
That's
that's why I can respect, and both of you guys do, because I mean, with companies like you doing the jobs that you do, obviously, if we didn't have guys doing what this guy's doing, I would.
You don't have cereal. I mean,
no cereal.
You're doing cereal with water. How delicious is that?
So junior 25 plus class is what you guys come to race.
Yep, came here for that. I originally was going to run plus 30 just because it's been 7 years since I rode. But a rule says I can't do that, being a pro.
And, really?
So we're going to do plus 25. And,
can you never run that class? No. Never. You'll never be able to run the 30 plus class.
Wow, something's got to get changed with that.
Wow, because listen, because this is something I was about ready to propose, was something similar to this right here, because we are getting a lot of the talent that's in that late 20s, 30s, and maybe even early 40s, that 10, 15-year range, where we could see some really good battles out of some former contenders.
Not to knock them, but Chad's 35. Joel's 27.
Yeah.
Thomas is 30.
Yeah.
Jeffrey's the same age as Joel, so everyone's getting up in age.
Yeah. So we need to develop a class for you guys, former pro class,
retired pro class.
Yeah, that's what it's for. Retired pro class.
With 2 laps.
So you guys don't have to train. You go do your regular
ride.
Yeah. There you go. Yep. So, and I guess that's. Now. To think about you guys kind of doing this on a full-time basis, that's kind of hard to even imagine right now with the responsibility you have. Right?
When I turned pro was 2009, and that was when the factories were in it. If it was like that, you had Suzuki, you had 3 Can-Am teams, you had Kawasaki with 3 satellite teams and stuff like that. If it was like that, yeah, we could come back, but you got to pay us what we're making working.
Yeah.
We got families. I'm not going to risk doing stuff.
Oh,
where,
your kids don't need
No.
shoes, man. What are you talking about?
Great, buddy.
You know, I mean, if it was like that, yeah, I mean, like I said, it's in your blood. You want to do it, and it's hard watching from the sidelines. I've been coming to the nationals here and there, and it sucks sitting up here watching these.
But
guys.
here's the thing: both you guys are, I think, talking about the possibility of your kids maybe doing it here in the future. And if that's the case, how hard is it going to be here and not go out and race yourself?
No, we're talking about it.
Just not competitive, not
No,
try, not
no.
the intensity.
You know,
Yeah. Like me and him, we're here racing this class, but we're still having a couple beers. And I'll be honest with you, I rode today. That's the first time in 8 years. In 2012, when I was done, I rode this was my last race. I never rode a fuller from that race on. To this day.
But you have all your stuff.
I
It's
still
just
have,
hanging up.
yeah, so, you know, the fuller I race is in my house, 2012. You know, it's a relic to me. Like,
Right.
that is, memorabilia.
Yeah.
And like that, it'll never be taken away from me. You know, I'm in the history books.
There you go. And in the history books in both ATV, motocross, and GNCC racing, both of them. I mean, he was the 126 in GNCC there for a while. Earned a top 23 number your last season racing.
Yeah.
Yep. That's what we're discussing. So, obviously, I guess we've kind of figured out what's going on. You guys have been busy like rabbits since you guys retired. There's no doubt about that.
See, all my kids were done before I was done racing. So.
Oh, you were a rabbit before
Yeah.
that. Okay. Yeah, you're just enjoying the fruits of your labor at this point.
Now I'm just watching this guy chase his little 6-month-old around. And
You only get one shot.
Yeah.
Hey, life is great, man. It sounds like you guys have got some really great things. Now, looking back over your careers, what's maybe some of the highlights and best memories you guys can share individually from your racing?
Honestly, racing against them.
Really? Racing against Nick?
I'll tell you what, me and this guy, I met him in 2010, and we became training partners, and we just became best friends. We go on vacations together. They come visit us. We go visit them. And he was 2012 and 2011. He was my main competition. We were 5th, 6th. Fighting back and forth every race, and that's just the best part about it. Like the highlights of the racing is, man, there's so many.
There's more memories than that.
Yeah. And it's just.
I remember one of them. I went with him to when we raced Budge Creek. And it poured that Saturday. I mean, poured.
Yeah.
That was first pro podium.
I got my first pro podium at Bud's Creek 2011.
I remember that. It wasn't even me that got on there.
He was on the shirt.
I was, yeah.
So it was a good memory.
Yeah,
for you, too, then. Yeah, so you remember that race? He got on the podium, and you forgot about being on the shirt. That's pretty neat. I mean, that is a pretty good friendship that has formed between you guys.
Yeah.
I mean, it's neat because your paths most likely probably would have never crossed. Maybe on the off chance that you got suggested friends or something on Facebook. It might have been the only way.
Yeah.
And chances are you wouldn't have had circles that were anywhere close to each other anyway. So, wow, this has brought you guys a lot. Then.
Yeah.
I mean,
we're here together as our families. The DeMobile family and Swartfigure family came here together as a family, and I mean, that's the nice thing about the ATV racing community is we're all family here. And you go to a bike national or you go to dirt bike races and stuff like that, they're not as close as we are around here. And, it's something to cherish. And
I think so. So,
back on subject or
no. I'm just trying to figure out what to talk about because I know there's so much. Okay, what's your guys' take on the racing now? I mean, you guys have been out, you say 6-8 years?
Yeah.
Lots changed. I mean, a lot has changed in that amount of time.
Well, I remember in last year we would have been here. I was just talking to him about it. It used to be packed. Yeah. Packed. Clean down to the last fence here where you pump it up.
Yeah.
Back here and just numbers are down. I mean, I don't know what needs to happen to change that. But
I don't know, like the whole racing thing, I see I see a lot more bigger rig. I mean, do you want us to be completely honest here? Or?
Yeah, no, I want you to be. That's what I mean.
You know,
there's no sense in sugarcoating.
no,
I mean, nobody's
it's
paying
not,
anybody
you know,
to be
No,
political.
back in our day, you busted your ass to get a rig out here like this, I see, we went to Millville, me and the wife and kids went to Millville in, I think, 2015. And that's when, like, pewter riders are showing these stacker trailers.
Yeah.
And these amateurs are coming up with these big, awesome rigs and stuff. I mean, it's awesome, it's awesome, but my eyes, is that going to get you pro? You come up rolling big, you got to fucking show big,
Right. Yeah.
And
I can remember back when I started racing, if you had a bumper full trailer and then you slept in your trailer and you loaded everything out, and that's how you spent the weekend.
Yeah,
You couldn't do any more than that. So
In a trailer, yeah. And then here these guys, if they don't have a Freightliner with,
nothing against them.
No, nothing against you guys.
But
Don't
just
don't,
a lot
no.
has changed. Like
the toy haulers just started coming out when we were getting auto racing, and to have a stacker trailer with a Freightliner motorhome, I mean, that was a big deal back in 2008, 9, 10, 11, 12.
Yeah.
But
and now it's the norm.
but that was also when 2008 the economy crashed and stuff like that. Stuff's gotten better. And, I mean, like I said, don't take it the wrong way, guys. I mean, the economy's booming. Awesome for you guys and stuff. It's things change. I mean, me and Derek rode that A class and plus 25 class. I mean, these kids are hauling too. But it's a lot different. We've been out for so long. I think we only know maybe a handful of people here.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy how much it's changed.
Yeah.
I mean, but that's there's about every 3 to 5 years there's a big changeover in the way things go, and you might probably recognize it from when you came in because you've probably seen guys coming and going when you were coming, and then more guys coming when you were going through your transition like that. So. And it's a cycle, and unfortunately, like you pointed out, the cycle hasn't produced more racers, and some blame it on the manufacturers not manufacturing ATVs. That could be obviously a huge and monumental part of it, but I have to say, if we are that strong and if we're able to do things the right way. We saw that happen when ATV racing started. The factories basically quit making machines, period. And aftermarket companies come out, and that's what created the ATV motocross scene and made it what it was. And that it spread the wealth out. And then the factories come back in, and it was great that they did because they brought a lot of money, they brought a lot of exposure, they brought outside sponsors and things like that, But when they went, and they just left everything. And here, you hear the argument all the time. Do we start allowing hybrids in the pro class? Do we do this? Do we do that? And there's so many sides to that story, and I guess that debate. I can see both sides of it. I mean, I can see the fact that keep everything stock, because Yamaha's still in it, and we want to keep a manufacturer in it, but at the same time, if Yamaha's the only one that's doing it, and not saying that they're not supporting the sport because they obviously are, why doesn't Yamaha supply every AMA Pro ATV racer a bike? That way, okay, we're all on the same equipment, everybody's got a Yamaha, now you get your sponsors and you fix that bike to make it go the best that you can. And then that way, maybe that would inspire these other companies to come out and do it. I mean, if we're going to run stock, and not. What about Honda? I mean, poor Joel. He's running on technology that's almost 2 decades old. I mean, fortunately, he's got a good team behind him. He's a good rider, and he's able to most of the time rise above it. But how often and how many times have we seen him lose races, lose championships? What it appears to be because of mechanical issues and things like that. It's happened too often. It happened at the last round of racing when the machine blew up. Now, is it because it was that old of a bike? Is it because it was just faulty equipment? I heard that it was the piston. It was just a bad piston. It was nothing else. It was just the faulty parts. Faulty parts.
Yeah, things happen.
Yeah, and that same thing could happen in Chad's bike or anybody else's bike out there. But, fortunately for Chad and for the folks at Yamaha, they've got, cutting edge technology and their machines are bulletproof. I mean, I see it in GNCC. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. But I mean, I know that's an awful lot to say. Yamaha give every AMA Pro ATV racer an ATV, but how much?
You might as well give us two.
I will say that.
But,
I will say that stalker is fun.
Right, and that's what they say too. And why not? I mean, if we're going to do that, why doesn't it? They're let Yamaha spend the bucks, and they'll probably sell more by doing that. I think in the long run, because that's all you got out there, and everybody's going to want to run those because that's what they're going to have to run when they get to the pro class anyway. So, and they got the corner on the market, and then all of a sudden, maybe these other guys might say, "Hey, wait a minute, what's going on over there?"
No, it's funny you saying that. No, I remember in 2006 racing Glen Helen. That was my first year doing nationals. That's when Suzuki just came with their LTR 450, and they had a production stock class of just Suzukis at Glen Helen. And, Digger was racing it, Jones. Pretty much all the pros were on these stock Suzukis, and you just heard a little bzzz going around, That was neat, and, now Yamaha's doing that now, and the series is bringing that back, and I think that's awesome, and it's, my eyes, I think they should just buy the bike, pull out a crate and race it. There's no CVI box cutting, there's no shock revalving, there's nothing. Go up there, straight line, out of the box quads. That's all rider who's going to win.
Yeah, that's very true. That's very true.
You snipple where you're here, you're going to gain 4 RPMs.
Yeah.
And that's a whole 10 feet in one length of our track. You know?
And I think I like the stock idea that you got, but I also like the idea of being able to put your own twist to it. Because I mean, when you look at any form of racing, that's what it is. I mean, it's the motor builders. That's the difference in it, and what you can do to your stock machine. Some guys go in and shave this out, and shave that out, drill a hole here, drill a hole there, and try to take as much weight out of it, or But yeah, I mean, we got the stock class. Let's just go ahead and do that. So I propose right here, right now, Yamaha motor home. We want 20. We want at least 20 bikes to give to our pros. Coming up in the 20.
Come on, your guy must give us a salary.
Yeah, there you go. Pay him to ride them too.
Toss Monster on there, you might as well.
Hey, maybe hopefully we're planting some seeds of ideas in people's minds, because there you go. If Yamaha does that, then they don't have to pay anybody.
No,
I mean they can pay contingencies.
Well, I mean, look at you got that Star Racing Yamaha for Supercross. You got your factory Yamaha with Monster, stuff like that, and like I said, back in 2008, 9, 10, those guys were partying here,
Mm-hmm.
and it'd be awesome to see that back.
And it's hard. I mean, I'm not going to lie. It's hard being here year after year and seeing and recognizing what's going on. And it's even harder, I have to think, I know, to decide, okay, QuadRadio, do I do it again? Do I keep doing this? And I have to say, I keep doing it, and I will likely keep doing it in the future, because the people that look for it, the people that enjoy it, the people that get the most out of it, they let me know.
Yeah.
It means something to them. I mean, for us to sit around and just chit-chat like this, for me to interview a kid or a pro or whoever,
that's how you learn. You got to listen.
Yeah.
People's inputs are what make the world go around.
Yep, absolutely. And
some people don't like the inputs.
Right.
Truth hurts.
Truth hurts, exactly.
And I don't, and the beauty of it is, this is QuadRadio is separate identity of any of the race series that we cover. They are, they don't pay me anything to do this. They don't give me any back money.
So you guys, come on,
No.
keep it up with this guy. Support this guy.
So I have a platform. I got to be careful, because I'm in a position, if I say the wrong things about the wrong and this, that, and other, I can get myself in trouble with the series that I work for and the series that we're trying to promote here. The last thing that I'm trying to do is bring a negativity in it whatsoever. But I think that our opinions do need to be expressed sometimes. We can't have that cookie cutter opinion and expect that they're going to go keep going moving forward. That cookie cutter opinion of, oh yeah, everything's going to be okay, guys. Let's just keep going this way. It's not working. We got to get out of the norm. We got to change something up. I don't know what it is. I know that some people push for change. Other people are resistant to the change. And what change is good? What change is bad? Is it the right change? Is it the wrong change? I don't know. But we need to get committees. People need to get together, brainstorm ideas, and then work from there. So
People need to grow some kahunas.
Well, I think they got that, or they wouldn't be out here in the first place. They wouldn't be here. But you definitely got yours. There's no doubt about that. Had them anyway. But anyway, that's the one thing that we really haven't done is I haven't gotten real controversial about topics and subjects. I talk with Thomas, and Thomas and I are the type, we love to disagree with each other, and I love to play devil's advocate with Thomas. And, though I see a lot of Thomas's points, I may not always agree with everything that Thomas Brown says, but God, I love him, and I love his ideas, and I love his passion, and he feels the same way about me. My ideas and so forth may not be kosher with what he's got on track, but we've all got good ideas, and we all got good perspectives to look at it. It's just got to find that happy medium someplace. And again, going back to the idea that, the manufacturers weren't in it. They came into it once they seen the growth of the ATV sport. We've just got to do our own thing again. We can't worry about what the manufacturers, in my opinion, at this point. And again, ATV motocross racing and the AMA ATV motocross series has nothing to do with this opinion. This is me, strictly me, on my webcast making this statement. I don't think that we need to be concerned about what the industry, that part of the industry, is doing. The manufacturers obviously don't care about ATV racing. That's plain and simple.
Yep.
So let's go back to what made us strong in the first place. Let's go back to the Lagers and the Duncans and all those frames and chassis and everything. And let's, if you want to grab a Yamaha motor or a 450 4-stroke off of a KTM, or you want to get it off of a Husky or a Suzuki or a Kawasaki or Yamaha, slap it in whatever. And let's go racing. Let's build these things the way that we used to. And maybe maybe it'll happen again. It's the only thing.
Back when the classes, I remember 265A. Where, there was open classes. 265 was the class, not 450.
Right.
Wasn't it,
Right. They were two. Now, obviously it'd be different because technology is different. We wouldn't be running 2-strokes anymore. We know that 4-stroke technology's come so far. A 4-stroke technology also is a little more expensive, I think. But the beauty of 4-stroke technology is once you spend that money, maintenance and good prep can usually maintain that machine and keep you on the level for a long time.
But I think there's a place for 2-stroke.
Oh yeah, there is.
I think you'd get a lot more turnouts for that too.
One of my eye catchers was Walsh building that Quadzilla 500 with the LTR frame, hybrid frame. That was probably the sickest quad I've ever seen. And I actually had my hands on an LTR 500 motor, and I was talking to Mikey about doing one of those, but I just didn't have the chick-ching to pay for that. But,
and that's where, and you mentioned, you're talking about the motorhome. The sport has become, it's not cheap to run these. You can't, the kids, unfortunately, I think it costs more for a 70 or a 90 to race than it does probably a pro rider to be, or as much anyway as a pro rider.
That's what we're talking about, because, we're talking about bringing our daughters into racing and stuff, and it's like, what do we put them on? Do you put them on a 90 mod, or do you put them on a 150 mod, or a 250, or one of those Raptor 125s, or Raptor 250, To go build one of those 250 mods, you're talking $20,000, You go buy a Raptor 250 for $4,000, toss some arms and shocks on it, and there you go.
Yeah.
Right.
Granted, it may not be competitive and stuff like that, but realistically, you're not going to make millions of dollars out here. It's about having fun, and going out and riding.
Yep. And being a part of something.
Yeah, being a part of it, making family and friends. I
love that. That's the reason I came too. See him, to talk to people that I literally live with. It seems like every 2 weeks you're around them.
Yep.
You make a lot of friends.
You You make an awful lot of friends.
Ones you don't forget. Most of them make an impact on you.
Yeah, you know, I mean, like you said, we've been doing this for 15 years, and this is my family right here.
Yeah.
You know, and when you're with each other every other weekend, you know, it's
More through the week.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like it's like you come up the tower today, and barring all social protocol, man, we didn't. You
I'm
know,
a hugging guy.
yeah,
You know,
yeah.
it's
Touchy feely, it's always just
yeah,
hey.
I'm always a hugger, so
You know this.
yeah, there you go. Free hugs. No mask required. You know, but that's what it's about. You know, it's just I don't know.
That's why I'm having fun this weekend.
Yeah.
Like I said, I rode forever.
Yeah.
It worked out for me, and man, I had a blast today.
Good.
I did.
Now, speaking of questions, now this is a story I want to get to before we get out here. It's getting a little late, and I'm sure folks are probably ready to eat dinner, and you're ready to eat dinner. I'm ready to eat dinner anyway. So let's talk a little bit about your story. First and foremost, how is your mom and dad doing? I know your mom is a huge fan.
I mean, even to this day, there's a lot of people out here that respect my mom. And she's done a lot for this. A lot.
Yes.
Most people don't know. She's been a silent voice in this for even, just recently. So,
That's great.
I mean, my dad never came to a race, ever. But he supported it and let me do it. He's
Yeah.
doing good. He just got his knees replaced, so he's coming back from that.
That's great.
Everything's good with my family. My
Good.
brother's good. Most people out here know my brother.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
Things are going good now. So
Good.
let's talk about you and your gear. Now, how did you get your gear? I understand your gear isn't at your house.
No, it wasn't.
So tell me a little bit about that.
So I get this bright idea I want to ride, and my stuff's at my mom and dad's house. And that's where it's been for the last 8 years, literally, in the basement. So I Tori, my wife, she got my mom to go get her some things, and I, snuck in and all savage. And
So-
hurried up and grabbed my shit, and out the door I went.
So you sneak in, you get your gear out of your mom's house, out of the basement.
Yep.
So why didn't you let her know? I mean, this was an elaborate plan. It wasn't like you just went over and just kind of snuck in the basement and snuck out. You actually
okay.
put your wife on the phone, had her call,
Yeah, I
said, get her to leave the house.
It's more than, it's not that I don't want my parents to know. I really don't care. I'm 30. You brought that up earlier. What the hell's the matter? But it's more than that. You're like, I don't want to get hurt. Like, you take a chance every time you even come out here.
Yeah. You don't want
I got my
unnecessary
kids,
work.
and I got my wife, and my career, my job, but it was more than that. Like, I needed to. I really did.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure Mama understands. She'll be excited whenever.
Oh,
she
she'll be excited.
She's
And,
probably-
I'm sorry, Ken.
Yeah. If you're listening by some dumb chance, I'm sorry right now. She probably is. My luck.
That's great. I hope somebody has tagged her and let her know that you were on here. So that's great. And we anything else? That we can pass along. Anything that you guys want to share before we go? Any fun stories?
Man, you guys just have fun.
Enjoy it.
Yeah, enjoy it. Racing's about having fun. It is, and that's what we're all here for this week. And to actually have when you're running pro, you have to be serious and you're training and all this. You got your parents on your butt and everything else. Just don't let that bother you. Just have fun. This is probably the funnest time I've had riding.
Me too.
In a long time. I don't got someone down my neck, screaming at me or, it's a blast, and it's just awesome coming back here and seeing everyone. Don't be afraid to stop by and say hi. Maybe, there's a lot of people here, new people that don't know us. And,
Which is all right.
yeah, which is all right. Stop on by. We can tell you stories of how it was back in the day. And, we're not talking digger dog back in 88 days, but
We're talking in the last 10 years, 12 years or so.
yeah, and just have fun. It's awesome to see everyone, and it's a pleasure to be on here with Rodney. We've known this guy for years and years and years. Always a great friend, and
Appreciate
Long
that.
time.
just stay close and have fun. You know,
Appreciate
that's all it's about.
Appreciate you guys including me in that because honestly, I feel the same way.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just like, you see my face when you
Yeah.
walk in the door.
It's always exciting when I come to the race because I know if I come talk to this guy, we don't talk for 2, 3, 4, 5 years. We're back to square one. Where we were just talking yesterday.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah.
And that's what it's about.
Yeah.
And
That's real friendship right
Yeah.
there. I mean, that
And it always
you
will
have a
be.
bond. You have a
Yeah.
bond whenever you can pick up with somebody like that, and when they walk in the door, they walk out. 5 years later, they walk in, just like it was, man.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it is. Guys, I appreciate you. I really, really do.
appreciate you.
Again, Derek Swertfager, Nick Noble. I'm Rodney Tomlin. This is the E-Racing Quad Radio Show.